let's dive right into it. The Dallas Cowboys. I want to know what you guys think about the Dallas Cowboys. I have my own notes here, but I really want to hear what I'm actually very curious to see what Carlos has to say about the Dallas Cowboys.
Why me?
How
Why
do you
me
think?
first?
Hey man,
you
go
go
ahead and
first.
start us off. Where do you see? Does Dallas take the East this year?
No. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because history dictates that they don't. There hasn't been a back-to-back division winner in this division since 2004. The Eagles did it in 3 and 4. So history says no, it won't be. So it won't be the Cowboys. Man, there's and I don't even want to say this. Like, I'm getting a little headache, nauseous that I may say that the Cowboys might have a really good year. You got Dak playing for a contract. CeeDee's playing for a contract. They have a good defense. They've got good players. The running back's questionable a little bit, with Zeke back. But, man, they got receivers. I think a breakout player for them this year is Justin Tolbert, too. Gallup's gone. He's a guy that, Tolbert showed some flashes last year. I don't know what to think of this team. It's the Cowboys. They'll find a way to ruin it. They have what they need to win, but they will find a way to ruin it. And it's just the Cowboy way. Like, they could go 17-0 and they'll get booted out in the second playoff game. They get blown out by the Packers or something. So, it's the Cowboys. I don't know.
Carlos, way too soon.
Yeah. Sorry, Dallas fans, but
it's tough.
It's tough. Mm-hmm. I don't know these guys. I'm thinking they're going to go 11-6.
Okay.
But you got two guys, they're superstars in contract years. They tend to play better. The O-line is, it's good. Man, I don't know. But it's the Cowboys. They'll find a way to mess it up. So it doesn't matter.
That's why it's hard to project. I mean, I feel the same way. I don't know if David's going to throw a big wrench in it and like have them go negative or something. But I just they're like bringing back pretty much the same team as last year. Right? Like no one's gone. Like everyone else, the same guys are pretty much there. Another year in the system. Everything says that they should be better. More reps in that system and kind of, but at the same time, it's like they're like the high-end Browns a little bit because it's just like
target versus the Browns.
I'm just okay. I don't mean that because it's just there's the expectation every year. This is our year. Like, we get there, and it's just the Cowboys fans, I feel for you. I hurt for you because it's like there's no reason why you should not be competing deep into the playoffs every year. Like that playoff game last year was ridiculous. I
think they're under the gun this year. I think if you're gonna not sign Dak and CeeDee, they gotta win it this year. I feel like
you have to at least make a deep playoff run. Like, get to the Super Bowl for once. Like, do something. But I don't know if I can project that. Like, it's just something seems to always go wrong. I don't know if the heart goes out or what it is. But this, just getting to the finish line is always so tough. I got them going 10-7.
Okay.
It's the schedule isn't too bad. There's some games that I feel like are going to be toss-ups. There's some games that they definitely are just the outright better team. So yeah, I think they come out positive. They get to the playoffs. What they do there, who knows?
They do what the Cowboys do. Blow it.
I feel like that's it shouldn't. We put too much attention on the Cowboys. I think at this point we just need to say the city of Dallas, because we have the Dallas Stars who end up losing the playoffs. We have the Dallas Mavericks who went all the way to the finals. They lose playoffs, and now it's the Dallas Cowboys. They've lost, back-to-back years in the playoffs. But both of you guys kind of said something, and that's kind of where I landed all my notes here. Carlos, you said that history has a way of repeating itself, right? Well, the last three, it's the last 3 years, they've gone 12-5. You can go back and look. They've gone 12-5 the last 3 years. Okay. One thing that is consistent with the Dallas Cowboys, they're really good against their divisional opponents.
Yes.
They have not had a losing. They've not gone below 500 in many years when it comes down to their divisional opponents. A lot of the time, they've either lost one, and that's probably to the Philadelphia Eagles, or it's a clean sweep across the board. They're really good with the NFC East, so that's why they're always very competitive in this division. But I have them going 12-5 again. Theo, you said something that I'm going to have to disagree with. Their schedule actually isn't the easiest this year. Their schedule, I believe, is, I think it's like, it's really kind of like they're in the middle of the pack. It's not like a horrible schedule as far as opponents.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
but yeah, they're kind of there in the middle of the pack, and so I feel like that there's some games in there that they're going to lose. Another thing that they don't do is they don't lose at home. They rarely lose at home. Now, again, yes. So again, but it goes back to the regular season. When it comes down to the playoffs, we don't know what the Dallas Cowboys are going to do. We don't know what any team is going to do. But unfortunately, the Cowboys have just kind of put themselves in this position where they've had good years. They've had winning seasons. They do well against their divisional opponents. They defend their home really well. And then they get into the playoffs and all the hype is behind them. And then something happens where they run into a buzzsaw of a young team like the Green Bay Packers like they did last year, or they run into a buzzsaw of a team like they did against the 49ers 2 years ago in the divisional round. So it's like they just come up to the wall. When it gets down for them to winning the big games, they just don't do it. But I have a little bit of hope this year because with Dak being on his contract year, with CeeDee being on his contract year, I'm sure that Jerry Jones is going to find a way to be able to pay those two guys. I don't know if he'll allow those guys to walk away, but it's going to be tough, man. You're going to have to pay Dak a pretty good chunk, and you're definitely going to have to pay CeeDee a good chunk, especially now with the Justin Jefferson deal. And who knows, maybe the Seattle Bengals will get a deal done with Jamar. And then that will really set the market for CeeDee Lamb. So, but
this is what they do.
I think that they can go 12-5 this year. It's going to be a tight race, like it always is, between Philly and Dallas. I don't think Washington or the Giants are there yet. Well, Giants definitely not. Washington, I feel like, are more on the upswing. But I mean, that's to be questions as well. But again, Dallas, they have a good team. They do, man. They have a good team. If you look at their offense, I don't like their running back situation. I don't think Zeke Elliott is going to come back and be the Zeke that all the Cowboys fan remember.
No.
Unfortunately, Tony Pollard did let us all down last year when he finally got his moment to shine as the number one guy. So they still got Deuce Vaughn, who, if he had glimpses of spark. But it should be interesting. But I do have them going 12-5. I think it's going to be another routine year for the Dallas Cowboys.
That Dallas fans just know my comment was not to, besmirch the name.
It's already done.
It's
just know
the damage is done.
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Listen, Browns are good this year. Come on now.
Done.
Do something in the playoffs.
Right. Hey, you know what, dude?
Shut the haters up. Come on.
Break the Dallas curse and actually do something in the playoffs and win it all.